Hello somebodies, and welcome to the channel. I am your host, Mr. Mafuchi, and guess what? Crazy antics happen around the world, so let's get into it. A man breaks into a home and performs chores? In the UK, a man performed the B&E, breaking and entering for all you non-criminals, while the resident was away at work and without permission. Oh, tisk tisk. But let's delve into the burglar's etiquette. Because not only did he break in, he also performed the chores. We're talking about refilling bird feeders, cleaning the floors, putting away groceries, and emptying out the trash. Now, when the resident returned back to her home, she was shocked and appalled to see the state of her house. And let's be honest, she was probably a little relieved that the chores were already completed. She did also notice that some food was eaten and her wine was consumed, which I'm not mad at. If somebody performs all those chores in my house, hey, have at it. Well, the resident didn't like that one bit as she went to the friend's house to stay the night. Probably wasn't too happy that a stranger came into her home and perceived her as messy. The man was later caught on another break-in, where this time he selfishly just washed his clothes and ate the person's food in the house. No chores were rendered at this place. Now, I say this with peace and love. For anyone that wants to break in my home, the bar has been set. I'll even leave you fresh prepared food and a wine bottle for yourself. So don't be shy. I'll leave the light on. A Japanese woman subdues a thief thanks to anime. In Tokyo, near Japan, a man was ready for a fun time tonight as he attempted a beer run. As the store clerk confronted the man and tussled, an innocent bystander named Ryo took action and helped the clerk. She brought him to the ground and got him in a headlock. Bystander held on tightly until police arrived. The assailant did try to break free by biting into Ryo's left forearm, and the bite marks 2 weeks later could still be seen. Thanks to Ryo's courage, the police department awarded her a letter of commendation. Now, you may be asking yourself, who is Ryo? And what's her background that led to such quick instincts? Well, she's an office worker with no martial arts experience, but has taken tea ceremony lessons. But with the love of anime, she imitated a moveset. So, with my experience with cartoons, my moveset would be farting into my hand, then placing it in the assailant's face. Classic. A son sues her mother for throwing his comics away. In Jiayi, Taiwan, a mother who lives with her son took charge of a situation. Not having enough space in her home, and quite frankly the books were gathering mold because of the humidity, Mom felt justified in her removal. Well, parents just don't understand sometimes, right? To no one's surprise, the son was outraged. More so because some of the books were out of print. Now, to her credit, the mom was apologetic, but guess what? Too little, too late. The son refused to engage in a dialogue with her, so he took her ass to court, and she was indicted for destruction of property. Now, the courts did take into account the quality of the comics. Therefore, the sum that she needed to pay was 5,000 Taiwan dollars, which translates to about 155 US dollars. Now, hasn't this always been the dynamic with parents and children? Especially with comics. How many times have we heard the stories? The parents throw away the comics that end up garnering a high price tag later on with time. Now, being a parent myself, even if I don't understand the material or I see that it's in rough shape, I'm not about to throw it away. Primarily because since they're the child, guess what? I'm the one that bought the stuff. It don't make no sense. Bank of America zeroes out your balances. Now imagine this. You wake up, you get your routine going, and then you go and check your balances and boom! All your accounts show a big fat zero. Well, for some people, this became a reality. Over 20,000 people had no money showing in their balance. Heck, they disabled the chat function for assistance. And I'm sure after a certain number of expletives on the chat, I would dry my eyes and take a personal day. Not to mention, Zelle was also affected, as people were not able to pay their bills. Because guess what? Their accounts were saying insufficient funds. Now, I'm not saying BFA was acting a little sus, but they weren't exactly quick to respond. But of course, all this was on a case-by-case basis. Some people were saying that Zelle was working, they were able to pay their bills, and other people that finally got through the customer service reps told them, hey, your money's still here, safe and sound. Although not everyone was pleased because there were some people that were still having issues with their balances. Now, let me just say this right here and right now. I am a very patient man. I'll wait in line for my food order at a restaurant. I'll wait for my TV show that's still under the weekly format. I'll wait for the hot water due to my lousy water heater that I won't switch out just yet. But you try to mess with my money?
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
A man steals an ambulance to make his court hearing for a previous GTA. In Stillwater, Oklahoma, a man at a gas station was in peril as he needed to be in court in the morning. He asked passersby for a ride, but to no avail. And hey, we've all been there before. So the man got creative. He saw an ambulance pickup that was running and unattended. I think we could put 2 and 2 together on this one, somebodies. He went off on his not so merry way. The good news? He made his court appearance. The bad news? Troopers were there to arrest him. Although, to their credit, the troopers did allow him to attend his court hearing. The man simply said, "Hey, I was just borrowing it." Needless to say, he was booked with new charges of theft. Now, believe it or not, people were split on the man's actions. Comments ranging from, well, what were you expecting? His hearing was for car theft. While others said, hey, at least he tried. You're always told not to miss your court case. But was this crossing the line? Let me know in the comments. Whose side are you on? Well, somebodies, that's the Spherical News for the week. Thank you for stopping by. And since you made it all the way through, how about a like or a subscribe? Or both? It's so simple. See you next time, somebodies.